So I've been thinking about the Big Apple lately. Not that apple. This apple. I've been here dozens of times over the course of my life, and this place is just really loud, really fast, but there's just like all these multifaceted layers in it. I love this city, and wearables are going to be leading the charge in enhancing that whole experience. Let's get into it. New York City is preparing for a wearable first world. New York's tech strategy is already kind of revolving around this because they've already talked about stuff like augmented interfaces, which basically means wearables. And wearables means things like navigation, translation, alerts, and basically city information in general. Now, the city themselves, they're not building like gadgets or anything like that, but they're building the infrastructure that they're going to end up plugging into. And the reason this is so important is because when you have a dense city like New York City, small interface changes like this end up changing how people move and how they interact. And there's proof of it. Now, what New York City's already been doing is they've been experimenting with subtle behavior changing guideline technologies. One of them is the accessible pedestrian signals, which basically includes things like vibrating buttons and audio cues. And these small real-time cues have already changed how people are crossing and even how they navigate the city. And the proof is there. Tiny guidance ends up creating an immediate behavioral shift. And what wearables are going to do is they're going to move that guidance from poles to wearables like earbuds, watches, and smart glasses. The subway AR test is already proving this concept in real time. MTA tested AR overlays in stations, which had like multiple language capabilities and directional arrows. People stopped freezing and tourists clogged less. Locals were moving way faster. AR navigation already was improving the real-world flow. What glasses are going to do is just going to make that process hands-free. And then you have New York City's audio haptic navigation pilots that are showing that same behavior pattern. Earbuds giving turns and haptics guiding intersections. People that are like visually impaired will be able to move with way more confidence. There'll be less asking for help and less hesitation. And this is the same behavioral shift we're going to end up seeing with wearables, but we're already seeing it today. And the city is building services for a world where we aren't staring at our phones anymore. Multi-models, understanding or responding things through multiple inputs at a time. Your phones, kiosks, voice, wearables, basically wherever you get that information, you'll be able to use different devices to obtain it throughout the city. New York is expecting hands-free access. Just look at tap to play and contactless transit. They're thinking infrastructure first and then making an assumption that behavior is going to follow. And I think they're right. And basically you can think of it like this. When you're building a house, right? You're building the foundation. So New York City is basically building the pipes so that the interfaces can change later. So what does this mean in a city? People are going to look up more. People are going to be stopping less in the sidewalk. Generally speaking, there's just going to be fewer bottlenecks. Micro interactions are going to get a lot smoother. Now, this isn't going to make introverts or extroverts any less introverted or extroverted. It's just going to reduce friction in the city. And what this translates to is no hesitation at intersections. You have smoother crossings. Tourists are not freezing anymore, which means you have better flow. Navigation in your glasses means that people aren't going to be crowding around maps anymore. And these ripple effects are going to really matter in a city with millions of people. So I guess you could say every block is a stress test. Every station that they have there is an experiment. Social patterns that show up here will ripple throughout other metropolitan cities all throughout the world. And at the end of the day, this isn't about the devices. Not really. It's about how the city is going to be adapting when people stop looking down. How small shifts can change the whole entire rhythm of a city. Now, New York City is not waiting for these wearables. It's preparing, honestly, for the moment that they go mainstream, which is a lot closer than you think. And when tech ends up changing movement, it ends up changing connection. At the end of the day, it's still about people. It's how we connect with each other and how we share spaces together and how we move and how we interact with each other. And New York City is just the beginning. Thanks for watching.